Good morning, this is Claudia Cordova and I'm with GL Marketing located in the city of Los Angeles, California. And today we're very excited because we're going to be interviewing Francisco Javier Ramirez. He's a business analyst and a certified mortgage planner. He's been in business for many, many years with great success. And just to tell you guys a little bit about Francisco, he was born in the city of Mexico, to be more specific, León, Guanajuato, which is a beautiful place in Mexico. Also, he came to the United States as a young man, and he's been studying business ever since. He's run many different companies with great success. And today we are going to be talking about one very specific plan or new business that you're starting, correct, Francisco?
Well, yes, absolutely.
So welcome, and tell them a little bit about yourself, and then from there on we're going to be talking about many questions that we want you to provide to our viewers.
Okay, thank you, Claudia, very much. Yes, well, I already told you, my name is Francisco Javier Ramirez, and I am a certified mortgage planner, and I'm a business analyst. And I came to the United States at an early age. Actually, I was 14, and I got introduced into the world of business when I was 19. Actually, I ran my first business when I was 19. I had a check cashing. You've all seen those, right?
A check cashing business.
A check cashing business. At 19, it was inside a supermarket in LA. And so that was very good. It was quite an experience, to say the least, right? After that, I moved on to a different business, which was accounting. Okay. And I really enjoy numbers, and I started working for a very large firm as an accountant.
Okay.
Moved my way all the way up to a controller, and decided one day that I didn't want to be behind four walls.
Okay.
I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to be trapped. I felt like I was trapped. So one day I got up and I quit. And I went out and worked for a company that's one of the largest, if not the largest, consulting firm in the United States. And been traveling all through the States and working with different companies, different types of businesses.
Now, would you say that your consulting experience or your consulting career just came about, or was it something that you found more passionate than working other businesses that you had already worked prior to consulting?
I guess a combination of both. You're not going to know whether you like something until you actually do it, right? The greatest reward from being a consultant or doing a business analysis for a company is that every single firm is different. Everybody has a different types of business, and I've done business analysis from a goat cheese company to cleaners, to a doctor's office, so many to name.
How important would you say is to have an analysis done for all these type of businesses for either their career, their growth, or pretty much just for them to know where their business is at? How important and how often do you see businesses really taking that approach to say, I need an advice or I need an analysis done? Well,
before I answer that question, it's funny because companies that have less than $1 million in sales are very reluctant to go out there and get a consultant.
Okay.
Once they go past the $1 million sales, they're more receptive to knowing that they need help. They need somebody's help, right? For instance, let's talk about an electrician, right? He might be a very good electrician. He decides to open up his own business, and he does well for the first couple of years. But then as his company grows, he knows nothing about marketing. Right. He knows nothing about accounting. He knows nothing about nothing. Well, he's a great electrician.
Right.
So he needs to have a consultant or someone to come in and take a look at his company. And to answer your question is that once we go in there, we take like an x-ray of the business, and we look at the different areas: accounting, marketing, sales, human resources, we can believe that, the way they process their workforce, and come up with a few suggestions that will definitely turn their company around.
Perfect. Now, the project that you are talking about today, what's the name and how did that come about?
Yes, the name of the company, first of all, is Alternative Business Solutions.
Okay.
And like I said, I was working for this privately held consulting firm that is based in Chicago, and we were working throughout the country. And at the end of the business analysis, we come up with solutions.
Okay.
And we come up with alternative solutions. That's where the name comes from. And we've been doing this for, I don't know, for the last 5-6 years.
alternative business solutions, and it pretty much becomes in a way self-explanatory because everybody needs a solution to the different types of problems that they face at different phases of a business that a lot of business owners are not familiar with because, like you said, an electrician knows about electricity in their field, but everything else for a business falls under a different branch. So how would you get your word out there to businesses, letting them know how important your area becomes to their growth or even to maintain the business that they've worked so hard to establish?
That's a simple answer. When you look at an athlete, or when you look at a businessman, whether they tell you or not, all of them have a coach.
Yes.
They all have a coach.
Yes.
You look at the top athlete, and he has a coach, and people wonder, why does he have a coach? I mean, he's the best. You need a coach because the coach picks up all the things that the athlete or the businessman cannot.
Right.
When you're part of the problem, you cannot see the problem.
Yes. And that makes sense. It totally makes sense. Now, can you give us a little bit of different examples of the companies you've been able to assist within the 5-6 years that you guys have been doing business for?
You know, there's so many that, but I'll start with a couple. I'll tell a couple of good ones. We help a company in LA that they do signs. They manufacture signs and install signs. They had an issue with the government as far as taxes, where they were being charged $150,000. After about 4 or 5 weeks of going in there and taking a look at their books, we were able not only to drop the money's due, but they dropped considerably down to $25,000. So that's a very good story. We have another one of our clients that owns three. It's a chain of restaurants here in the San Gabriel area, and he had a problem with the IRS. We all know what the IRS is, right? He had been carrying that for about 5 years, and they kept taking money from his accounts, and they kept billing him. We went in there, we took a look at what's wrong. We helped them. Not only did they stop taking money, they already owed him money, so they refunded him some money. So, I mean, those are great stories to share with everybody. That and these were people that were already in trouble. Most of the companies are in trouble. They're just not aware yet that they are.
And that brings up another good question. When is the right time for people to understand, okay, I'm in business, I seem to be doing okay, money's coming in, money's going out. When would it be the right time to call and say, you know what, can you take a look at my business to see what I could do better or what certain things I can avoid so I don't get myself into the problem similar to what you just shared with us?
Right. Well, you know, it's a great thing for someone that's just starting the business to know exactly what they need to do.
Okay.
Now, for those that are already in the business, sometimes we get so involved with the daily routine of a business that you know, they don't have time to look at the business of the business to grow their business. So when is it a good time? If they have not had a business analyst done on their business in the last, some never have, but let's say in the last 12 months, this is the right time. They should call someone.
So would it be a safe thing to say, why don't you do not an analysis because there's not anything to analyze if you're just starting, but would it be a good idea to say, I'm thinking of starting a business, these are my ideas, based on your experience, can you help me put some type of program or plan together so I could start with the right foundation? Does your company, or will your company provide that, or does it already provide it?
No, we already provide. That's where the consulting part comes in.
Okay.
Yeah, so we come in, we not only show them how to start up their business, but we implement different applications for them to, it's like warnings.
Okay.
When they start, you know, pulling away from the right track to get back in the right track.
Okay. So you're working both beginners, middle, you're in trouble. So pretty much all phases of the business.
Everybody, I don't like to say the word trouble, but everybody has challenges with their
Little
businesses.
challenges.
Right? and whether they're in, a lot of people just think that sales related. They're not.
Right.
Most of the time it's operations. And of course, government and the rest of them.
From your point of view, which businesses are more marketable in the United States than anywhere else?
Well, you know, the businesses are really marketable in the United States. Any type of business that's service oriented. For instance, it can be what we do, of course, right? Anything that involves numbers. Most people are afraid of numbers for whatever reason or another. They don't like numbers, so they're willing to just hire someone that comes in and with our expertise to help them. But any type of business that's service related that helps the consumer, they always do well. The other area that is also very profitable is anything related with the food industry, especially I'm going to use the word Hispanic products, right?
Okay.
Whether it's restaurants or whether retail or wholesale.
We like to eat.
We like to eat.
We like to eat. And it's not going to go away.
That's right.
As a businessman here in the United States, and with your background, your experience, your education, how can you share the attractiveness of investing or owning different types of businesses in the United States? If people are coming from other countries, other places, and they're thinking of, I would like to invest or I would like to start a business in the United States. As a professional, as a businessman, how would that be attractive to other people?
Well, first of all, once again, if they're new into the States or new into running a business in the United States, we will not only help them with the setup, but we'll show them how it's done in the States, because we do business a little bit different from other parts of the world. There's regulations. There's so many different things that they need to be aware of, and that's where the consulting part comes in. We help them from the get-go.
Okay, so you will be able. Your company will provide all the different areas of either licensing or permits or different regulations that they may not have in their countries, but that we do hold here in the United States.
Absolutely.
And just so I don't feel left out, because I am a woman here, right? We're talking about businessmen. How successful do you see nowadays with this economy in the United States of businesses that are being led or ran by women?
The percentage is funny you asked that question, but I'm going to say about 35 to 40% of the businesses that we service are either owned or run by a woman.
Okay. So let's not leave them out.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I had to say that for my own. So I don't feel left out here sitting with you. Francisco, in which area would you consider that the business need to improve, either here in the States or within the Latin America community?
I'm going to say something, I'm going to get a few people upset, and I would say education. But I don't mean going out and getting a degree, or a lot of people are going to say, well, I have a degree or I have a master's, and well, that's great. I believe that going to school teaches you how to learn. School teaches you how to learn. But once you come out, you have to keep learning. And you learn from going to seminars, to trainings, to workshops, to picking up a good book, right? And just along with associating with the right people. So that's the type of growth that I believe that lacks in a lot of business people, and especially in our community.
Right now, within the same topic that you just touched was the environment, right? The environment. Will your company be assisting or putting other business owners of similar backgrounds or similar businesses so they could start surrounding themselves with people with similar issues, similar ideas, where they could get more support outside of what you're providing, which is setting up their business?
Oh, absolutely. We belong to a group, a network group here in the States, that it's formed by many other fields of interest to any businessman starting or expanding into the United States.
Or women.
Well,
right.
we say businessmen. We say businessmen. It's a habit, but business people.
Business people in Latin America. Well, I just don't want our viewers to feel like you're a female and we're just directing this to males, so we're going to make it open for everybody.
This is for all business owners.
Owners, yes, in Latin America to be successful.
That is correct.
It's very important. We always hear your income or your lifestyle or your environment will be very similar to the 5 people that are closest to you.
That's right.
And, growing up, I'm pretty sure you heard it from your parents. Look who you're hanging out with, and I'm going to tell you who you are and how you are. And I don't know about you, but I used to think, Mom, really? it's like I'm different, right? It's like it's not going to affect me. Now that I'm older and around different areas, I do see the impact that it makes, not only with how we run things, but in all areas, whether it's our children, our household, our values, our ethics. Do you see that a lot with coming across with businesses when you're analyzing and you take a look at probably other associations that they have, and do you see an impact of how that's changing their business or things that they would have to change in regards to what they're associating themselves with?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, the one question that everybody asks me is I'll walk into a business and or they'll contact us, or we refer to them, and they'll say, have you ever, let me use the goat cheese company that we went to over in Colorado. And the first thing the CEO asked me, well, what do you know about making goat cheese? And it's absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. But we're there is for the business of the business. And that's the same thing here in Colorado, in China, in South America. There's some principles that must be followed. And with that, the type of people you have to associate yourselves with. Some of these companies are doing well, but it's the people that they're associated with. And you probably heard the term before, you get the wrong people on the bus. So you just got to change the people on the bus for that company to turn around.
Turn around. Clean house.
Clean house.
Clean house. My last question for you, Francisco, would be if you can share with us certain characteristics that a person should have to achieve success, whether it's, especially now we're talking business, so it's going to be directed to success in business. What characteristics would you say are the top characteristics for a person to achieve the type of success that they're looking for?
You know, the list is not a very long list. There's some key factors that you look for, and we see them on young entrepreneurs, and we use them with very seasoned CEOs. But I would say, to name a few, will be, first of all, they have to have a clear idea what it is that they want. They have to be sharp about what they want. They have to have it in writing. A lot of people just wish they could do something, but they don't have it in writing. They don't have a business plan, which my number 3 will be, make sure you have a business plan. Number 4, never even think about the possibility of failure. Get that out of your head. Just, don't. And long time ago, I heard somewhere, can't remember the author, but as a business owner, if you are not growing, you are dying.
Yes. And wouldn't you say that applies to everything?
Absolutely.
If we're not growing, it's just either stagnant or it starts going the opposite direction. Yes. So, well, thank you so much. You've given us a lot of great information, a lot of knowledge, a lot of hope for people that are looking at saying, okay, how do we do or what do we do? There's always planning, right?
Absolutely.
And once you have your plan, once you analyze it, once you know exactly what the numbers look like, because at the end of the day, the numbers are what's going to make the difference. You're either on a positive or a negative. And I think it's very important for people, again, like you said, to educate themselves and move forward. And with your experience and your company, I think you guys are going to bring a lot of good from other people. So, Francisco, thank you very much.
Thank you, Claudia.
And good luck to everyone and great success. And let's just all grow.